Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Office Bloke Aidan.
Here we are on Sports Edition. If sports is for you, you know what to do. Give us a like and subscribe.
Yes, please.
Getting up there now. A bit of NHL playoffs.
Yeah, trying to get up to date with it.
We are. Well, we've had a hectic couple of weeks, personally. Your 21st birthday. Happy birthday to Aidan.
Yeah, thank you.
Your brother got married.
Yeah.
So we had that. It's been the last game of the season where City won the league. And now this weekend we've got the FA Cup final with City as well. Yeah. So it's
and then it'll all be over.
And it'll all be over, yeah. Then it's back onto the Euros. The NHL playoffs is bringing fans to tears.
Oh.
Who's in it now?
Year,
the Rangers.
Whoever loses,
got the Rangers against
the Panthers.
Is it? Yeah.
The Dallas Stars against someone else.
Edmonton.
They could be the Oilers actually. I think.
Is it one of the Canadian teams?
I think so.
Yeah. Let's get into this.
The 2024 NHL playoffs is bringing fans to tears, and we got to take a deep dive into every series. We got pissed off coaches, wild last minute sequences, and some more teams getting ready to book their tee time. So let's cover all the strategies and storylines of every series from where we last left off. Tuesday, staying alive. Heading into Game 5 between the Bruins and the Panthers, Bruins fans were at their wits' end with officiating. Sam Bennett has been the man who's gotten away with murder in this series, and he continues to be the most hated man in Boston after he scored a controversial game-winning goal in Game 4 that could have easily been goalie interference. The Bruins would have to fight for their playoff lives without their captain, and they'd have to do it on the road. Right away, Boston came to play as a rimmed puck along the boards gets sent right out in front to Morgan Geek Squad, and he buries to give Boston a crucial early lead.
Nice goal.
Something the Bruins did incredibly well here to cause this breakdown is the use of a hard rim around the boards to get the Panthers chasing. Off the entry, Florida is in solid defensive position, so Boston decides to rim this puck hard to the other side of the ice to force all 5 Florida players to adjust. Panthers defender Nico Mikkola drifts up high anticipating this rim to help out, and once the Bruins get possession, they send it back down low, and now 4 Panthers are caught high above the face-off dots. Ekman Larsson has to pressure the Bruins forward behind the net. Verhaeghe is a winger who isn't familiar being in this spot to protect his net. Geeky slides in, and the Bruins take a 1-0 lead. That is tactical brilliance from Boston against a Florida team that just doesn't give up much.
23 was watching.
The Panthers had 107 shots on goal in games 2, 3, and 4 combined, but after the first period of this game, Boston outshot Florida 13-4. About halfway through the second period, Panthers coach Paul Maurice was absolutely livid. Paul Maurice starts losing it on the bench to his team. He looks like that one guy trying to rally the boys for another round after a 3-day bender. The guy's pointing at the scoreboard, his veins are popping, the face is getting red. He's doing everything he can to try and draw emotion out of him. And 11 seconds after that, all that yelling must have worked because Sam Reinhart is on the doorstep to bang home the rebound. Message is fully received by the Panthers, and it's just another example of their puck pursuit and shot mentality in the offensive zone. Both coaches were very vocal in this one. You got Montgomery with an Oscar-level performance here as he gives his best impression of the Panthers' embellishment. Someone get this guy in a Scorsese movie because that is top-notch acting. Not even 5 minutes later, Boston responds with a huge go-ahead goal with them exposing the Panthers' aggressiveness. Because the Panthers are so good and so aggressive on their forecheck, Boston's D need to make a quick play under pressure to exit the zone with possession. Here, Tkachuk gets a bit over-aggressive as the F3 with 2 other Panthers already below the goal line. He smells blood looking for a hit, but it's the rookie Mason Lohrei who makes an incredibly poised play to control this puck and make a backhand pass to the middle of the ice while taking a hit. The Bruins support is in the right spot, and it's a rush chance the other way.
What play that was.
Joins the rush late from the Bruins D changing, and that makes it a 4-on-3, and now he steps in and wires this one.
What I love about this channel, it breaks down the tactics of side play, and then he shows it again. That backhand there to play out into the middle there, that's, not only is it dangerous because someone could be coming in, I guess, as an attacker, but he plays and he frees 3 players up there for Boston to make the break, like the counter attack, if you want.
Yeah.
And it just what a play that was.
I know, right?
He had to take a hit for it though. He took a massive check on it.
Yeah.
To take the lead. The Panthers challenged this goal for goalie interference, and luckily it would still count because I think Boston would burn the city to the ground if that one came back. For the rest of the game, both Bobrovsky and Swayman were brilliant in this one. The Panthers would get one last push in the dying seconds as Montour sends it right out in front to the 50-goal man in Sam Reinhart, but Swayman gives him absolutely nothing to shoot at. He stuffs Reinhart, that's the game, and Boston stays alive to force a Game 6. So many storylines in this series, but can you imagine if Boston comes all the way back down from 3-1 to do the exact same thing that the Panthers did to them last year? It would be pure chaos, and I can't wait to see how it turns out. Speaking of chaos, we had Game 4 between the Canucks versus Oilers, and once again, officiating has been the storyline. Carson Soucy received a 1-game suspension for cross-checking McDavid in the face, but more importantly, the Oilers decided to start Calvin Pickard over Stuart Skinner. I don't think anyone came into this series predicting that this would turn into the battle of AHL goalies, but here we are at the beginning of Game 4. Halfway through the first, the Canucks take a penalty, and what do you know? Shocker, it's McDavid to Draisaitl on a ridiculous angle to make it 1-0. This power play has so many set plays based on where McDavid has possession, and early in the series, Edmonton was exposed in the goal line, and once Vancouver adjusted by taking that away, Edmonton has...
I just got to go back on that a little bit.
It's McDavid to Draisaitl on a ridiculous angle to make it 1-0. This power play has so many set plays based on where McDavid...
What does he do with the puck here? Does he put it in?
He hits it top left, doesn't he?
Does that go in though when he hits it? I couldn't work out if it went in or not.
Yeah, top left, like press play.
Has possession, and early in the series, Edmonton was exposed in the goal line, and once Vancouver adjusted by taking that away, Edmonton has responded with this set play by McDavid and Draisaitl. McDavid attacks the middle, he forces the Vancouver Killers to pressure to take away the shooting threat, and that leaves Draisaitl wide open to hammer home a 1T from a ridiculous angle. Just seems like whatever you throw at this power play, they have an answer, and they're going to end up scoring one way or another. Fast forward to the last minute of the second, Juleson steps up to make a huge hit. Ekholm takes the hit to make a play over to Nuge. He looks off McJesus and buries it to make it 2-0. Now with the series being the way that it's going, absolutely no lead is safe. Vancouver gets a goal halfway through the third to bring it within 1, and after pressing for the tie, it would come down to this face-off with the goalie pulled for the Canucks. Elias Pettersson has been taking quite some criticism these playoffs, and rightfully so based on his statistics, but he digs in here on this draw to get it to Besser and gain possession. As Besser passes it to Hughes at the point, Vancouver sends 2 guys right in the blue paint to cause hell. Hughes sends it back to Besser, and instead of wiring it, he shoots it into traffic, and that is the bounce that he's looking for as the Canucks tie the game with just under 2 minutes left. The fans in Vancouver are losing it. The fans in Edmonton are deflated, but with 44 seconds left, it looks like this is going into overtime. That is until Vancouver gives Leon Draisaitl all day behind the net. He sends a perfect centering feed over Bouchard, and the Oilers shock the Canucks in the final minute to win Game 4. I've talked about it in my breakdowns this week, but the Oilers' top guys have exposed the passivity of the Canucks all series long, and right here it hurt them at a crucial point. This series is all tied at 2s, and I think I speak for everyone when I say we need 7 games of this chaos. Before we continue, I want to thank SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video. Now, playoff tickets, but since it works live at Red, receive 15, so I'll have Lets Me Down app and available for NHL series. This is the last stand Wednesday, and join in on the live fun that is the NHL playoffs. Wednesday, last stand. With Dallas up 3-1 in the series, this is the last stand for an Avs team that has just been shut down by the Dallas Stars. With Valeri Nichushkin being suspended for a minimum 6 months, and the Nate Dogg speaking truthfully about the confidence of this team going into Game 5, the Avs have a big...
He's been suspended for 6 months. Did he say what for?
No, I didn't hear him say what for.
Let us know what he got suspended. 6 months, a long time.
Big hole to climb out of. Colorado hasn't scored the first goal once in this series, and they continued that trend in Game 5 with Joe Pavelski getting his first of the playoffs. Once again, Colorado is chasing the game, but right at the end of the period, McKinnon beats Lehkonen for a 1T, and it goes in with the buzzer. He beats it with 0.6 seconds left on the clock, but how about the subtle dish with none sauce by McKinnon to just gently put it on the tape of Lehkonen? We got a 1-1 game, and that is a massive goal for the psyche of Colorado. Never underestimate a champion, because even though Dallas would pull ahead with their own power play goal, Cale Makar follows that up with a slick wrister from the point to tie the game. He's so damn good at finding those lanes through traffic, and Ottinger never even saw this puck go by him either.
Look at that.
He's fully anticipating the pass over to his right, which is why he slides, and Makar just sends it top bunk to tie the game. Dallas's structure has stopped Colorado from weaponizing their speed for the most part, but in the third, it's that aggressiveness from the Avs that gets Dallas on their heels. The Avs scored twice off of the pressure, including this slick tuck from Makar. He gets the puck at the
for his
point,
legs.
catches Seguin going the wrong way. Onger thinks Makar's actually going to go backdoor with the feed. He cheats a tiny bit by pushing off with his skate, and Makar slips it 5-hole for the ultimate cheek move. Dallas would get a goal to bring it within 1, but the dog steps in and wires this one past Onger to seal the game and force a Game 6. This entire series has been on Dallas's terms, but once Colorado finally got a lead, they forced Dallas to play to their pace instead of the other way around. If the Avs want to pull off something special, it starts by forcing Dallas to play catch-up and take chances to get out of their defensive structure. Thursday, playoff heartbreak. Game 6 of the Rangers versus Hurricanes, and the pressure is squarely on New York to close this one out on the road. After leading this series 3-0, they are on the verge of a brutal collapse, with the Hurricanes winning 2 straight off the back of their strong 5-on-5 play. That strength would continue as Marty Necas gets on the board late in the first to give Carolina the 1-0 lead. A strong pinch down the boards from Carolina's D stops the clear, they cycle it down low, and Marty Necas is left all alone in front. Not the start the Rangers want at all, and things would get even worse in the second when the Hurricanes would get a power play. A big reason why Carolina is even trailing in this series is because their power play had gone completely cold. But when things aren't working, coaches preach getting back to the fundamentals. So the Hurricanes get bodies in front, Svechnikov throws it low with traffic, it squirts out to Jarvis, and the Hurricanes go up 2-0. Things are going great for Carolina, but this is a season of chaos. And after a grade A chance from Panarin was stopped, Orlov throws a pizza hot and ready up the middle. It goes right by 2 Hurricanes who just simply aren't ready for this pass. Artemi Panarin throws it on net instantly, sensing that FredEx is still swimming in his crease. Trocheck tips it home, and that is a messy goal.
What a goal as well, though.
Hockey is truly a game of mistakes, though, and the Rangers would essentially give that goal back after a tough pinch gives Carolina a 2-on-1. And it's Sebastian Aho who goes Roof Daddy-O Jr. to regain the 2-goal lead. Now, sometimes when you have a team as aggressive as Carolina, teams with possession will use a lob play to bypass the forecheck while sending forwards up ice to retrieve a potential bounce. With Carolina's 1-2-2 forecheck fully set against the Rangers, Zibanejad decides to lob this in the air to avoid all this oncoming pressure. Meanwhile, Lindgren decides to join the rush, and as this puck drops, it takes a fortunate bounce to Kreider. The Hurricanes are caught up ice because of the lob pass, and streaking down Main Street is Lindgren. He gets the puck, goes
what a pass!
Right there on the goal line, but
he saved it
in like Superman to hook this puck out of the net before it crosses the line. That is a ridiculous save.
What?
Worthy if you're a shooter, and if
you literally can't get any closer.
Martin beers and a steak, because that was
you just slide it in.
That's close, man.
An unbelievable effort keeps this game 3-1 for Carolina, and it's starting to look like no matter what the Rangers do in this game, it just simply isn't their night. But what everyone forgets is that New York has this man, Chris Kreider. The franchise leader in playoff goals and part-time PETA guy from Sausage Party, this guy comes up clutch when you need him the most. With 13 minutes left in the third, Zibanejad throws it on net, it gets stuck between Freddie's skate and the post, and Kreider just gets right in there to jam it home and cut the lead to 1. Absolute stinker of a goal that you just can't land in if you're Anderson, and now you can just feel the energy shift in the game. The Hurricanes take a penalty, and the Rangers once again use the Hurricanes' aggressiveness against them. Every Ranger snaps it around quickly as each Hurricane flexes out to pressure, and that eventually opens up a hole for Panarin, and Kreider tips home his second of the period to tie the game. The Panera Bread and PETA connection is real, and the Hurricanes have officially blown a 2-goal lead. Now, with the Hurricanes playing a man-on-man defensive system everywhere in their zone, one misread can cause a big breakdown. When done right, it is extremely effective at shutting down the other team, but the way to beat it is to use motion with all 5 guys in the zone. The Rangers get this puck in the corner, each Hurricane is attached to their check, but as Lindgren activates from the point, his check has to navigate through the traffic of everyone else. That slight motion buys enough time for Lindgren to circle the wagon and put a centering pass out in front. Everyone's caught sleeping at the wheel, and Kreider scores again for the natural hat trick. This poor kid is in tears because he knows his team is absolutely cooked. It's okay, kid. At least you're not a Leaf fan. But Kreider is pure clutch, and what a performance from him to pull the Rangers out of the mud in the third period. The other dog is Igor Shesterkin. The Hurricanes had a few more glorious opportunities to tie the game, but he shut the door to help the Rangers go to the Eastern Conference Finals. What a game, what a series. It's a fine line being a part of an embarrassing playoff collapse or going to the conference finals, and luckily for the Rangers, it worked out well. It's a beautiful game, but now it's time for the Hurricanes to officially pack their and book the tickets to Cancun. Now, to keep the boys going, we had Game 5 of Canucks versus Oilers, and the big storyline coming into this one was Coach Rick Tocchet calling out a few guys after Game 4, saying that the Canucks simply can't have any passengers. The big dogs for both teams needed to show up in this one, but early in the first, it's Evander Kane who sets the tone off a feed from Draisaitl from below the goal line. Draisaitl now has 21 points in 10 games to lead the NHL playoffs, and he remains the best stationary hockey player in the world, with his ability to make a play while not moving his feet. The Canucks respond with Carson Soucy wiring one upstairs to tie the game. My guy is cross-checking McDavid in the face, putting pucks in the net. What more can you want? Well, if you're a Canucks fan, you probably want him to stay on his feet here, as 30 seconds later, he slips trying to step up for this puck. It springs an odd man rush, and the Oilers get something they desperately need in this series, and that is depth scoring to take the lead. The Canucks' fourth line says, anything you can do, I can do better, and early in the second, they strike back. Nils Alman doesn't get an assist on this play, but he ties up Bouchard's stick just enough to cause him to bobble it, and DiGiuseppe picks up the garbage, spins, fires, and ties the game.
What a spin that was.
I know.
From this point on, it was pretty much next goal wins. The refs had to give us something to talk about, so they called Elias Pettersson for charging on this reverse hit. Somewhere Datsuk is watching that hit and is shaking his head in disgust as to how that could possibly be called a penalty. Vancouver fans didn't like the call either, as they started chucking their $18 beers onto the ice. Quick shout out to inflation in Canada, but despite the Canucks taking 5 penalties, they killed off every single one of them and held McDavid and Hyman completely off the score sheet. There wasn't much space for either team's best players, but in the dying seconds, Vancouver stacks their line by putting on Pettersson, Miller, and Lindholm. As this puck heads back to Vancouver's D, they pull out a similar lob play that we saw in the Rangers game with pressure coming towards him. The puck drops into the zone, it takes a good bounce to Lindholm, and Pettersson drives straight to the net. The puck bounces off his foot, hits the post, and right there is JT Miller to break the hearts of Oilers fans. The Canucks hit the Oilers with the Uno reverse card by winning this one in the last 30 seconds, and they take a 3-2 series lead. The big dogs for the Oilers have a quiet night, and now they need to find a way to carry this team to 2 straight victories. So, what did you think of the last few days of the NHL playoffs? Drop your conference final matchup.
I guess we've got to catch up a little bit on the next round.
Yeah, we'll have to watch
conference finals.
We know who's in the conference finals now.
Well, we're not sure if the Oilers or the... we're still not sure, are we?
I'm pretty sure it's the Oilers.
Yeah, it's Conor McDavid, isn't it, the Oilers?
Yeah.
But what an amazing game, man. Every time I watch it, I don't know why I don't watch more. I know why I don't watch more of it, because it's on at like middle of the night over here.
Yeah.
But
especially at this time of year as well with the hockey.
Yeah.
It is the time that you'd want to watch it.
Yeah, it's an absolute mint game. But I just, with the like North American sports, when they play like a conference, they all play in conferences, then they have the conference finals, and it's usually like East meets West type thing, isn't it? Why don't they get to instead of having the conference finals, why don't they draw get team number 1 plays team number 2?
Yeah.
So it could be East v West, just random, yeah. And I've you might have 2 from the East in the final. If that's the case, because you're never going to get 2 teams from the East in the final, are you?
No.
So it's going to be an East and West team.
Yeah.
Same as NFL, whatever they do conferences because it's so far.
Well, NFC
but
or
once you get to this sort of like a certain point,
stop in basketball, East v West.
As soon as you all make the playoffs, make it random draws.
Yeah.
For the playoffs.
A lot of travelling.
Just the knockout stages.
If it's like California versus New York, and you're playing,
make it a one-off game. It's not enough money.
You're playing 7 games in like how long?
I guess it's money in it at the end of the day as well.
And you have to think about the fans.
I guess so, but it's
trying to keep it as less travel until the last game.
The final, yeah. But that's Rangers looking. The Garden will be buzzing if the Rangers are in the Stanley Cup. Not been in it for a few years.
The Dallas Stars are going to win it, mate.
I think the Rangers are going to win it now, but I don't know. To be fair, I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Well, yeah, you don't. No one knows.
No one knows. That's right. But they'd be a favourite.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but anyway, it's good that I enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Let us know your predictions for the Stanley Cup winners.
Yep.
Don't forget to like and subscribe as well while you're at that. And we'll see you on the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.